to who can get a stop.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Come back.
Watson off play action. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now out comes Houston. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. The give is to Jones. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. A give to Jones. And an alley to run. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Now Jones. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. On 1st down, Watson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 23 yards on the play.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And they'll go on the ground. doing? He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Chris Jones on the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 37. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And now here comes Kansas City. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on 3rd down, Blankenship. He is going to find Hill here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A first trip to the red zone for KC. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, a great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They get it to him running left. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say.
And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Here's a give to Jones running left. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, it's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jones. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Come back, come back. Two jet. Richmond.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
To throw on 2nd down. Blankenship. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 27. The tight end Kelce was the intended target. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
On 1st and 10, Watson. that is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Looking to throw. Blankenship finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Blankenship. And Hill with it over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Being chased out left. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards, and the Texans will take over at the 20. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Here's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That good for 19 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Touchdown, Houston! Ronald Jones, his second touchdown of the night. And the Texans are in for 6. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action here on first down. Buying time to his left. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Blankenship flush to his right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a defensive player of the year at the other, and he just locked people down.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
To throw on second down. Blankenship. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. The Chiefs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw. Blankenship. And that is incomplete.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. From the gun, Blankenship forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And this Texans defense stands tall. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game. And that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Flushed out right, toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. This is Jones. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then in the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to let this slip away.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Watson on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And this one is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second-guess when you don't get it on a fourth-down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Blankenship. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Now they'll run it on the toss. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Off play action. Blankenship. Now a desperation throw deep down. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for KC. 53 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, it could come back at you a long way.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And the Texans set to come onto the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. A gain of 3, second down. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The Texans on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Richmond.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys to scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them. And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The Chiefs on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Come back. Do jet.
He's back to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 36 yards.
You have no timeouts remaining. You absolutely have to get out of bounds.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, a game and a decision that people may be talking about tomorrow for sure. Had a chance at a long field goal there at the end to try and tie it. They elect to not kick it, and they lose the game.
And I think what we'd all love to see is that little slip of paper that the special teams coach handed the head coach before the game that said, this is where our kicker is good from today. This is where he feels confident, because that might be the absolute mark that tells us, okay, maybe we have to run more offense because maybe he doesn't feel good about kicking it from this distance.
So for Kansas City, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month
you.